Hey guys, Tatiana Ward here with BeatFaceHoney.com, and I thank you so much for joining me. So I came out with that video telling you guys how to curl your hair with a flat iron, and these are what your curls are going to look like once the curl has fallen, but that's neither here nor there. I got a million people asking me how I did my makeup for that video. They wanted to know how to do a very, very simple, pretty and easy look. So I've duplicated it again, and if you care to learn how I did it, I hope you'll stay tuned. Alright, so to start our very natural makeup, I am starting with a fresh, clean face. Time and time again, people ask me what my foundation routine is, and it never changes. On myself as well as clients, I always use the same foundation no matter what type of skin they have. I don't have the money to go out and buy a different foundation for every skin type because I have to use so much product and be prepared for so many different types of people and different complexions, skin colors, and all those things. So I stick with one product that I know I can use on anybody. And this is what I use. This is Studio Tech from MAC. It's a cream-based foundation. Comes in a case like this. It's a little bit thicker. I'm going to put this on my face. And I'm putting it very, very sheer. Barely any I'm using on my face. I'm not putting any on my eyelids. As you can see, I never put foundation on my eyelids, and I find that a lot of girls do that. Okay, my foundation's a little bit too light for me, so I'm going to put on a powder that's a little bit too dark for me to counteract it. And this is Studio Fix from MAC. It is a very thick, concentrated powder. Typically, people will wear Studio Fix as a foundation because it's so thick, but it's buildable. You could put on a little bit and keep it pretty sheer. You could put on a lot and use it as a foundation. And for those of you who are wondering why I use a thick foundation on every skin type, it's because with something that is thicker, I can work on making it thinner by just adding a little bit of lotion to it. So not everybody needs or wants a very thick foundation. But in a case like myself, I'm using that super thick foundation for a very minimal look. And the reason I'm getting away with that is because I'm using very little product. And after a few moments of both products sitting on my skin, the natural oils in my skin will start to mesh with it and make it look thinner. Also, a very thick foundation can be mixed with lotion for somebody like an older person that you don't necessarily want to put like something really, really heavy on them. So I can work backwards with a super thick product where it's hard to work with like a liquid foundation and make it thicker. Doesn't work that way. Okay, and I'm going to comb out my eyebrows. A little bit of an extension on by using the same brow pencil that I always use. This is a product from MAC, and it's just a brow pencil. This is what it looks like. Today I'm using the color Spiked, and I also want to outline the lower portion of my eyebrow. So you see that's defined them a little bit better. Taking a product from Revlon that looks like this, and it comes in a little mascara wand and tube, but it's for your brows. It's called Revlon Brow Fantasy. It comes with a pencil on the other side, but I never use the pencil. However, the pencil would be great to use if you don't already have a brow pencil that you like using. So I just take this wand when I'm going for a natural brow, and I'll fill in my eyebrows this way. This way it doesn't look like the thick eyebrow that I normally love to do on myself. Just super done up and dramatic brows are not necessary when you're trying to look natural. Okay, and you can see the difference. This one is a little bit more filled in and looks fuller, and this one is not. Okay, now that that's on, I'm going to put on some concealer. I always like to use MAC's Studio Finish concealer, and I'm just going to take my finger, and again, this is a really thick product, and I tend to like under my eye to be pretty light, which is also very dramatic You see a lot of celebrities these days doing the very light under eye. Kim Kardashian does it too, and all those celebrities are making their under eye really light. However, for a natural look, I feel like that looks too done up. Where I would normally set that with a translucent powder or a see-through powder, I'm going to set that with a colored powder because I want under my eye to be the same color as the rest of my face. Now, the purpose of putting on concealer is to conceal blemishes or dark circles, particularly under my eye. If I had a zit or whatever, that's also what you use concealer for, or a scar that I didn't want people to see, that's what you use concealer for. Fortunately, I don't really have problematic skin and I don't have any scars on my face, so I really only use concealer for under the eye. But again, I don't want under my eye to be as light and dramatic as I normally would go. So I am going to go over it with the same Studio Fix powder and a sponge and just pat over it. This way, we've concealed our dark circles. It gives the illusion of my whole complexion being one color. And on the flip side, it's not too light and it's not too dramatic. Natural and Nicki Minaj do not mesh. Now for the eyelashes, which is absolutely the #1 thing that I kept being asked about in my last video. You wanted to know what the eyelashes was and how I put them on and all that stuff. So these were the eyelashes that I was wearing. They are number 43s. And guys, I've said this 100 bajillion trillion times. These eyelashes, any eyelash that you see me use, unless I have said otherwise, I get from like inner city weave beauty supply stores. Stores where you can go in and buy wigs, buy weave, buy hair dye. However, they just don't have a name. That's where I get the lashes. I wish I could tell you a specific store, but there is no specific store and there is no specific brand. So anyway, if you know what lashes I'm talking about, they're number 43s. People always ask me, can you wear lashes more than once? Absolutely. You can wear lashes as many times as you want to wear them. A lot of people would tell you that that's dirty or you shouldn't do it or whatever, but it never hurt me before. Now, as a makeup artist, I will not put on lashes on somebody and then they come back to me with an old pair and I put them on. Because I don't know what's happened to them. I don't know if you let your friend borrow them, whatever. I don't want to be responsible if you get pink eye or something dirty happens. However, for myself, I will put my own lashes on myself over and over again because I think that they look better when they get older. Yeah, I said it. You may call that dirty. I don't care. It looks better. And that's why those lashes looked so good the other day, is because I have put several coats of mascara onto them. Okay, I zoomed in so that you guys could see. I have one lash on and the other is not. And the most important thing about attempting to wear a lash without eyeliner is that you use a lash that looks like this. See how this lash has spaces and the rim on it? When I say the rim, I mean this right here. It's not solid black. I know it's blurry and I don't know how to stop it from doing that, but when I hold up these two lashes, you could see that this one is like spaced out. And the band, or where you put the lash glue and attach it to your eye, is spaced out and it's got like clear in between each little notch of hair. Whereas this lash is just a solid black line all the way across. See the two together? This one has spacing and it's got that clear band here. And this one has the solid black all the way across. I said all that to say that it's the clear band that will be concealed better and more believable if you plan to put it on without any eyeliner. I have put on an extremely sheer amount of glue and I'm attaching that to my lash line. And then I'm going to pinch down, make sure that it's up as close to my lash line as it can be. And there you have it. Okay, now the reason that I put on a very, very, very sheer amount of glue is I actually attached the lash to my eyelashes, which is something that you never want to do. You always want to leave a little bit of space so that you're not ripping off your eyelashes. However, to make it look like it's seamless and actually your actual lashes, you want to get it as close to your lash line as possible. And sometimes that means actually attaching it to your lashes. So you want to have as little glue as possible so that when you do go to take your eyelash off, it comes off really, really easily and doesn't stick to the actual real eyelashes. And now I'm going to put on a ton of mascara, and this will blend in my natural lash into the false lash, making it appear even more seamless. And I'm putting mascara down below into my lower lash line also. Okay, and I'm gonna take Blunt from MAC. This is a blush, and ever so slightly dip my brush into it and contour the side of my cheek. You see, that's very, very light. And if you need to figure out where your contour should go, you can do the old And I'll take a very simple, light, pretty blush. This is Gingerly from MAC. I'm going to put that on my cheekbones. And an old favorite, I'm going to take Hot Cocoa. It's a lip gloss from Victoria's Secret. I love this color. Just throw that on my lips. And there you have it. A very simple, soft, pretty way to do makeup. If it weren't for my explaining all of this, this look would take no more than 10-15 minutes. And then certainly if you weren't putting on eyelashes, that would cut some time off also. As usual, you can go to BeatFaceHoney.com in the blog section for a detailed list of all of the products I just used. And I hope you guys are following me on Twitter and also Facebook. There are links to everything I just mentioned down below. And I also hope that you guys are excited and entering to win the PYT giveaway, the brand of flat iron that I used to get these curls. Yes, I made these curls with a flat iron. I'll put links in this video to where you can see what the heck I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a really cool contest that I'm throwing, and I hope everybody enters to win. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here very soon. Bye.